gonna start with prep. So we'll start with boiling 1 potato, and we will turn it on to about medium heat and worry about that later. That'll sit for 15 to 20 minutes until soft. Next thing we're gonna do is we're going to get around 2 to 3 tablespoons of raisins, and we're gonna chop them up. I don't think it's that big of a deal how many, but yeah, we're gonna chop these up, get a little extra. And that is going to be pretty much all for prep. So now we're gonna get the dough rolling while we prep a little bit. We're gonna get 1 cup of flour. Right there. And then it's as simple as 1 egg. Perfect. I'm also going to add a pinch of salt just to add to the richness of it. And I will start kneading with just the egg, flour, and salt, but I will slowly add water. But I'm not going to do that until I let the dough start to form, just to knead it properly. So now that I got my dough to a consistency I like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw just some flour on the table. And then I'm gonna start folding and kneading my dough, mostly by hand. This kind of just gets it at the right consistency. I'm just gonna fold it and push it down. I don't know exactly why this works so good. I learned it when I was in Italy, like 2 years ago, in a cooking class. And yeah, it just makes the dough good. No matter what, every time, man. It's like clockwork. But yeah. Anyway, the kneading takes around like 5 to 8 minutes, I'd say. If the dough isn't in great consistency, just either add more flour to make it less sticky or more water to make it more. And keep kneading until it is just kind of pretty much like this. It's not really sticking to your hands. Looks consistent, isn't clumpy anymore. Now that I'm done kneading, I'm going to cover this with a cloth, giant cloth, and let it rest for about 20 minutes. The reason I am resting this is because it will relax the gluten, so then it will be easier to roll out when we are actually shaping the ravioli. Now that I am done preparing the dough, we're gonna start actually making the filling. So first I'm gonna have to skin this potato. I'm gonna start by adding approximately half a cup of ricotta cheese for the filling. Next up, we're gonna add a tablespoon of those raisins we chopped up earlier. Next, I'm gonna add a dash of mint extract just for flavor purposes, just a dash. Next, we want a full tablespoon of sugar. And then we're going to add a pinch of black pepper and a pinch of salt as well. Okay, and then lastly for the filling, I got approximately 1/4 cup of potato that I boiled earlier and skinned and mashed it up. And I'm going to throw it into the mix, making sure to get it all in there. So now for the scary part, I've got to give this a little taste just to make sure it's good. It's supposed to be a little sweet, not very sugary. So yeah. That's pretty money. Next, I can get to rolling out the dough. I'm gonna cut it in half, just so it's easier. Look at that. Just so it is easier to manage. And then I'm gonna roll it out. So I rolled these out. Make sure to use flour so that the dough doesn't stick to whatever surface you're rolling them on. And now I'm going to cut circles out for the ravioli. To cut the circles, I'm going to use this little glass right here, but you can use pretty much anything you want. You can even hand cut them if you want, just with a knife, but make sure to be careful, don't break anything. So now we have all of these perfect little circles for the Cjarson raviolis. I'm going to now get my filling, use a teaspoon, grab it. Try not to be too generous because I do not want these to explode while they cook. Throw a little bit of filling on, just like that. I could use a little bit more, actually. Just like that. And then I'm going to use my finger, dip it in a little bit of water I have here to the side. I'm going to wet the edges around the filling. This is going to act as a glue when I throw the top on of the ravioli. I'm also going to wet the other circle that I have here. And I'm going to throw it on top, just like this. And then only focus on pressing down the edges. Press them down really good. A little bit came out the side, that's okay. But nothing's gonna get through that now that it is pressed down. Just go over it a couple times. Make sure it's on there tight. And then that is what we want with all of them. As I am making these raviolis, I'm going to prep some salt water because we are going to be boiling them. So bring some salt water to a boil and have that ready. So now I have 6 raviolis and I'm going to boil them in just a second. Okay, now I've got this salted water at a boil. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna get my Cjarsons, I'm going to throw them in, and I'm gonna wait for them to float. But once they float, I'm still gonna wait just about a minute for them to still cook. That's to make sure that the filling is going to be warmed when I take them out. So wait for them to float and then wait about a minute and then they're perfect. So here I'm gonna drop my first one in. Goes right to the bottom. And then throw the rest in. You should be waiting around 3 to 4 minutes for these to start floating up. And then, so the whole process should take around 5 minutes. So this is them floating around. Okay, they've been sitting for around 5 minutes and they've been floating for around 2. So I'm going to turn the heat off, take them off, and I'm going to take a slotted spatula. Slotted spatula or spoon is going to work best because you want to prevent tearing and ripping. And oh man, they seem perfect. So just gently take these out and we're going to let them sit for a little bit. We're not quite done yet. Okay, so the sauce is really simple. All I'm going to do is melt some butter to start it off. So the goal with this butter is I kind of want to get it to a dark golden color and before I start spreading it, so it's going to bring out more of a nutty flavor to spread onto the raviolis. So now that it is this brown color, I'm going to use this brush to spread it on the raviolis. So this is just the first part. We'll get this butter and kind of just lightly spread it over the Cjarson raviolis. So I'm now going to add a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese that is shredded. and a dash of nutmeg. And I'm going to mix that up in this pan, and that is going to be the final dressing of the Cjarson raviolis. So now I'm going to take that mixture right there and get the same brush and just cover these up. Now I'm going to cover these in a little bit more shredded Parmesan because shredded Parmesan is delicious and it's going to melt right on top and be so good. So here I have my finished Cjarson raviolis. I unfortunately don't have anyone here to try them with right now, but I am going to crack these open myself. Sliced open real nice. That's the inside right there. Parmesan on top. Wow, that is actually really good. I am a fan of this for sure. The filling is really good. You can definitely taste the glaze on top. But man, that mint and cheese filling is delicious. The raisins too. It's very good.